Hey guys, it's Zemi. We're back here with another Old Man Grumbles. Thank you for singing us in there, my little sim avatar. So we're back to another Old Man Grumbles. I'm going to be talking more about E3. I know it's been a while, and that E3 is done and over with. Nobody cares, move on. But, you know, I am an old man, and I'm not with the times. What can I say? So... so we're gonna have some dinner here real quick. You're gonna make some mac and cheese and see if we set this house on fire. Anyways, so I'm gonna start off. This is gonna be covering Sony's stuff as well as Nintendo's and, you know, a few other odds and ends here. First of all, I'm gonna start off with Nintendo. There's a couple, mostly not a whole lot for me to talk about necessarily with Nintendo. Not necessarily that I don't care, but I don't have a Switch, so some of these don't necessarily apply to me. I am planning on getting one, but for right now, it's, you know, what it is. So basically, what we know is, of course, there's a new Kirby game. That's pretty awesome. I loved the Kirby on the N64. I am totally blanking on the title right now because I'm kind of exhausted, but so that's really cool. It looks very similar to the old Kirby games, which the N64 version may have been like the last main Kirby game released. I could be wrong, I don't really know, but it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Kirby has never been my favorite of the Nintendo characters, I guess, but it was a good game. A kind of nice thing about the new Kirby, it's going to have multiplayer. It's going to have multiplayer options for 4 different people playing. Not too sure if it's going to be co-op or, you know, competitive, but that's kind of cool. A multiplayer Kirby will be an interesting concept, I think. Along that same line, we have a new Yoshi game being released in about 2018, it looks like. And that looks pretty cool. I loved the Yoshi's Island games. Those were some of my favorite games. They were freaking adorable. And so that's really cool that the new Yoshi game looks pretty good. It will be more 3D based, so while it is still kind of that platformer-esque thing of go along the way, shoot your eggs at things, and progress that way, it also has a little bit more 3D depth of field to it, so to speak. So you go, you know, you can go backwards and forwards rather than just side-scrolling. So that's there. Are you guys... Why? Why is this a thing? Don't make me get, like, an evil guard dog to attack you guys. Get off my lawn, you kids. Okay. Anyways, so that's the new Yoshi game. It looks pretty cool. It almost looks like it wants to be Paper Yoshi, like the old Paper Mario games, which nothing wrong with that. The Paper Mario games were good games up until we got to the Wii system, then they kind of bombed. But so that's that. There is next one is there's a new Pokemon RPG for the Switch. No one knows too much about it. We know it's a full Pokemon game, but we don't necessarily know if it's like a dungeon type game or if it's like, you know, like the other Pokemon games have been, where I'm so excited to be woken up. I hate being woken up. What time is it? It's 1 a.m. and I'm awake and I'm like, I'm ready for the day, damn it. Alright, you're gonna go start writing. No, we're gonna continue writing Bob the Space Duck. So there's that new Pokemon RPG. There's, like, no details on it yet. So there's not much to say, but that's really cool that we're getting a Pokemon game on a console that's not going to be just like Pokemon Snap or Pokemon Arena or whatever it was for the N64. Next, and finally, for the Nintendo side, I kind of have to mention this because this is who I am. But they did talk a little bit about the Fire Emblem Warriors game. This isn't necessarily my cup of tea. I really like like Hyrule Warriors and things, but I'm not too sure how it's gonna work necessarily as a Fire Emblem game. I really love Fire Emblem for its tactical, turn-based type setup, so I'm not necessarily sure if I just want a fighting game of it. But they did show a couple things for it. Graphics look pretty decent. They look better than they do for the mobile version, which was Fire Emblem Heroes. I will say that I am currently playing Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow of Valentina, or Valentinia, something like that, which is the remake of an old Fire Emblem game. And it's pretty good. I really actually like it. I did not enjoy Fates or Awakening, so this is kind of nice to get back to. It still has some of those aspects to it, but it's a little bit more like the old Fire Emblem games. That was not anything to do with E3, but that's just me. That's just what I've kind of been doing. So now we're going to move on to the other games. First thing I want to mention is they have announced that Bethesda is going to be doing a re-releasing of Skyrim. Why are you frozen? Okay, there you go. Bethesda has announced that they will be doing a new Skyrim game, a remake of it, entirely in VR. Yeah. Skyrim game entirely in VR. Anybody who's into Skyrim, it was nice knowing you. You're going to die in front of your consoles now because, oh my god, a huge game like that, and sort of an immersive RPG like that with VR, okay, you're all going to, half the world's population is just going to die right then and there because they just won't move. They'll just be playing for the rest of their lives until they die. So, that's that news. So, if you're a fan of Skyrim, congrats to you, I guess. I guess that's a better way to go than some other ways, Okay, otherwise, I do want to mention the Sega Forever, which a lot of people have been talking about, so, nothing majorly new there. Why are you so slow? And hang on, we're gonna, play this game. Play a racing game. Go do that. Go do that thing. Good job. Congrats. I'm proud of you. Alright, so anyways, Sega Forever. If you have not heard about it, if you've been living under a rock, Sega announced that they are going to essentially re-release all of their old games for like the Genesis and the Dreamcast and things like that on mobile platforms. Are you guys still here? You are. Get away. Go away. They're doing it all on mobile devices. Supposedly all the games. Honestly, I don't necessarily believe that because there's a lot of games that Sega isn't necessarily going to re-release, I don't believe. But we'll see how this goes. Who knows? All games will be free. However, all games will have ads. There is the option to buy the game once for $1.99, they say, for each game. And that will eliminate all ads for the game entirely. Future updates or anything like that, you pay for the game once, you're done. You don't have to pay for any ads. So, no one knows exactly how intrusive these ads are going to be, or how bad they're going to be for certain games. So this may be a good deal, it may not be a good deal. But, I mean, they're already starting to release some of their bigger titles, obviously, like the Sonic games and things like that. So if you are a fan of Sega, which, I mean, I am a huge fan of Sega. I love Sega games. Sega Dreamcast was one of my favorite systems. Sega, their Game Gear, which is their old handheld device, actually was what kind of got me into video games. That was when I was kind of first introduced to those. So anyway, so that's that news. That's kind of cool. The other nice thing about it is it does offer offline play for all of these games. Which, I mean, makes sense, obviously, because all these games did not have online capabilities back then, because that was before the time of the internet, really. But it's nice, too, to get it on a mobile device where you don't have to worry about data or Wi-Fi connections or anything like that. You can just sit and enjoy your game. However, my thing with mobile is you never have enough space on mobile devices, so I don't necessarily see how big of a library you're going to necessarily get. I'm sorry that I didn't pay attention to your bladder while you were gaming. So yeah, depending on, you know, how much space your phone has, you may or may not be able to get some of these. I have no idea how large they are yet. Well, you know, it would help if you flushed after yourself sometimes. Man, I am such a slob. God. Living with me is impossible, just gonna say. Okay, also I want to talk about this game that's coming out called Portal Knights. I'm kind of interested in it. You're gonna go to sleep. You don't sleep. I know I'm an old man, but come on, dude. Alright, have some waffles. Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles. Okay. Anyways, back to Portal Knights. Portal Knights, it's this new game that's very similar to Minecraft. Looks, you know, very, visually similar, but it is sort of being advertised as a tactical RPG sort of open world thing, which, you know, looking at the previews, it almost looks like it could be like a Fire Emblem game in that tactical RPG elements where, you know, you have your grid layout where you move along that, which is really cool, which is what I'm really interested in because I love tactical RPGs like that. That's why I love Fire Emblem. I loved, you know, Final Fantasy Tactics, things like that. I love those sorts of games, you know, and I want to see more of those. So I am a little interested in that. I'm not too sure, you know, since it does seem to be very, very similar to Minecraft in a lot of the other ways, I want to see how much content is actually going to be, you know, like Minecraft, and how much is going to be of that tactical RPG thing that I really want to see. So we'll see how that goes. Next is this new VR game, and that I would love to play. I would love to play it. I don't have a VR. I have no plans to get a VR. I don't necessarily like VR games, but I really want to play this game. Oh, well, you're not going to have time to finish that, hun. You're just going to have to leave that there and go to work, okay? You do that. We'll just put that in the fridge there. Anyways, it's this new VR game. But the thing is, it's called Inpatient, so it's a horror game. And it's being done by the developers of Until Dawn, which is one of my all-time favorite games. I love that game. I love that it's imitating the campiness of the old horror movies of the 70s and 80s. Why do we do this every single time? Ooh, race car! Vroom vroom! Look at my little car! I'm such a loser. Okay, anyways, that was exciting. Anyways, so back to Inpatient. It looks so spooky. It looks very similar to Until Dawn. You can definitely see that it's by the same developers. But it is VR only, unfortunately. It is about a very, very spoopy doctor, and assuming you are that Inpatient, probably trying to escape Spoopy Doctor, but who knows, maybe there will be a twist of some kind. I don't really know. It just looks really good and really scary, and I'd love to play it, although I'd love it if it were not a VR exclusive game. That's the problem. So, yeah. What the hell is going on in there? That's honestly about it right now for what I had for the rest of E3. I really wanted to see the information about Last of Us 2, but they didn't really show anything. They didn't mention much about it. They said, you know, that all of their resources are currently going into the Uncharted series, which is fine. That's awesome. Cool. Why don't I just run to work every day? Like, I don't really... Did I... okay, whatever. So... go back. Nope, you're gonna continue writing. You're not gonna do that. So, yeah, I really want to talk about Last of Us 2, but Naughty Dog is devoting pretty much all of their team to Uncharted, which is another series I'd love to get into, but have not had the opportunity to yet. but who knows. Naughty Dog did announce that once Uncharted is done, this current game that they're working on, all of their team is going to be focusing on Last of Us 2, which I think is great. I would almost prefer this because it means that they are taking it seriously. They are going to work their asses off to make it a good game. I don't want them to necessarily split themselves up and make a lesser game. It's a thing that I know a lot of gaming reviewers are, of the same mind as me with this. When games get delayed, we aren't disappointed. We're happy about that because it means that the developers want to put in that extra time. They want to make sure and flesh it out just a little bit more, correct some of the bugs. They want to make sure that the game is going to be better than it could be, with the release. And I know a lot of, I guess casual gamers, they're more, no, we want the game now, No. Take your sweet time, guys. I will wait years for Last of Us 2. I will wait years for almost any game that I'm really interested in if it means that you guys are going to put that much love and care into it so that it's going to be a great game. Bring it on. So, Naughty Dog, devoting all of their time and energy to one game at a time, that's awesome. Good for you guys. I hope other game companies start to, follow that if they're not. And obviously companies like Bethesda are a little bit too big probably for that, so they can't quite do that. But, wouldn't that be awesome if, like, Bethesda's entire, employee pool just got together and made one kick-ass game? That would be so badass. But that's not about to happen, of course, because, Bethesda's far too big, so they're more concerned with the gotta get multiple games out at a time, blah, 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 which I understand as well. That's totally, that's a legitimate business model. That's fine. Bethesda's not quite as bad about that as EA games are. I say as I'm playing an EA game. But, EA is the one who really, really pushes for those release dates before the game is ready. And that's not a good idea to get into. That's something that a lot of gamers are not a fan of right now. So essentially, it's a very, very short little, Grumbles here. But, that's what it is. I just didn't have too much to talk about from the rest of E3. I did get to, talk about Inpatient, which is the big one that I really want to play. That's my most exciting news. I was hoping for more Last of Us, but, there's not much to say about that. But hey, I got news of Evil Within 2. That's awesome. I will let you guys know that with Steam's summer sale, hello, I did get a copy of Outlast and Whistleblower. Oh, no, I don't want to travel to China. A copy of Outlast and Whistleblower, so I will be playing those on my channel. I'm very, very excited about those. We'll most likely... Go away! Why are you losing points with somebody? Anyway, so I will be playing those on my channel. I'm very excited about that. Evil Within is on sale with Steam Summer Sale, so I'm hoping to get that as well. Or... some other games here. I also really want to play the new Ori game that's coming out. That's going to be so kick-ass awesome. I'm so excited. But so that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys again for watching. Let me know if there's another game that you think is really interesting that you would rather I have talked about instead of my own pointless things. That's totally legit. I understand that. Not everybody's going to like the same games, obviously. I did not necessarily talk about the ones that everyone's freaking out about, like the new Mario game. It, honestly, I mean, it's kind of weird the way that Mario's hat possesses people, but, like, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't think it looks as good as the hype it's getting. Otherwise, check out my streams every week. I do them on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time, and I stream on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. I stream both to Twitch and to YouTube. I'd love to see you guys there, hanging out and chat with me. I love to interact with people while I'm chatting. So if you can, go ahead and join me. That'd be awesome. Otherwise, let me know in any comments what you thought, anything that you'd like to bring up and possibly talk about. Or, just hang out with me. I like to talk and, pretend that I have a social life. So, so thanks for watching again, guys. Hope to see you at one of these other episodes, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.